In today's video, I'm going to tell you some of the secret study strategies that have helped me get through some of my toughest courses as well as exams when studying throughout the summer. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie and I'm an internal medicine doctor, and I make videos on health, wellness, as well as my life as a doctor. So if you want to follow along, click that subscribe button as well as hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Whether you're taking a summer course for university or college, or you're studying for a standardized test at the end of the summer, or maybe you just want to get a head start on the next school year, I'm going to tell you some valued study strategies that I've learned throughout my life to help you achieve your goals. Throughout my educational career, I've written numerous standardized tests, I've taken summer courses throughout high school as well as in university, and I've learned a lot throughout this process. So let's get into some of the summer study strategies to help you stay motivated as well as help you memorize everything for your upcoming test or exam. The first strategy that I want to talk about is something that you can not only apply to your studying, but also to your daily life, and that is visualization. What you need to do is take 5 minutes before you start studying. Close your eyes, clear your mind, and see yourself studying. See how you want the study session to go. See yourself staying motivated and feeling good by the end of the study session. This is something that I've done throughout my entire life and throughout my entire education of learning. I used to do this in high school when I'm studying for an exam or a test. By doing this, I was able to achieve top marks in every course almost. I was able to get into a very good university, and I was able to get into medical school and achieve my goal of becoming an internal medicine doctor. So take 5 minutes out of your study session, close your eyes, and see what you want to achieve at the end of the session. It's very important. My next strategy is something that kind of goes along the lines of the first, but it's something that you really have to have a clear knowledge of before you get started in studying. And that is to write down exactly what you want to achieve by studying. You can't just study in vain, and you can't just say, oh, I want to do well in the course. You need to have clear goals in mind of what you want to accomplish. So what I like to do is divide this up into short-term goals and long-term goals. Short-term goals, for example, I would use when I was studying for the MCAT, which is the medical college admissions test. I wanted to achieve a specific mark on each of the sections. So at the time, each section was marked out of a score of 15, somehow they got there. And I wanted to achieve double digits, so anywhere from 10 to 15 on each of the sections, because I knew that if I was able to attain that, that was something that was going to help me be more competitive for my overall MCAT scores in order to get into medical school. My overall goal, so my long-term goal, was getting into medical school. And obviously it takes a lot more than just the MCAT to get in, but that was something that you needed in order to make sure that you were a competitive enough candidate to be looked at. So studying for the MCAT was very important, and making sure that I had these goals written down was so important for me in achieving the goal. The next strategy that I want to get into is studying in short segments throughout the day and maintaining a balanced life. So kind of two things, but I think they have a lot of things that overlap and have a lot of things in common. So when I say short segments, when you're studying, you don't want to study for hours on end. And that's something that I definitely got caught up doing. When I first started studying for the MCAT, it was about May in the summer. I studied for hours. I felt that, well, I had all this time that I might as well use it to study. And I felt that I was basically stuck. I wasn't achieving any of my goals. I wasn't improving in my scores. I wasn't retaining the information, even though I was spending hours upon hours studying. So for the next few months, I changed my study strategies. What I did is I studied in short periods of time. So in the morning, I would study between 30 minutes and an hour, have a 2-minute break, and another 30 minutes to an hour. There are studies that have shown that retention starts to wane after an hour, and therefore you need to have a break in between in order to maintain that retention and motivation to keep studying. The other thing that I did was I made sure that I actually set a time in the day when I would completely stop studying. I would enjoy myself. I would exercise. I would go outside. It was the summer, obviously. I would socialize with family and friends. I wouldn't make studying seem like a punishment, like I had to stay inside and do it for hours, because that's not beneficial for you. Once I made a balanced life for myself, I saw my scores rise. I saw my retention in studying. I actually enjoyed studying the information, so always maintain a balanced life while studying and study in short segments. The next strategy that I want to talk about is something that I didn't really learn about till later in life, and that was studying in groups. I was always someone who studied by myself. I just enjoyed my own company, I enjoyed having that time to focus, and I didn't want any other interference. But for my last licensing exam, which was my Royal College for Internal Medicine, which I did last year, I was studying in a group for basically a year, where we would meet once a week initially, and then we met twice a week. One thing that I learned about studying in groups is there are a lot of pros to it. One is that you're able to teach other people. So being able to take the information and divide it up into different topics, learn your topic so well that you can actually teach it to someone else really shows that you actually know that information. I also really liked sharing ideas with other people. So being able to ask questions, being able to debate certain topics is really important to improving your retention of the information, because you'll be able to remember those conversations that you had with those people when you're writing your exams or when you're writing a test. Now, one thing that I want to say, when you do form a study group, make sure that the people in your group have the same common goals. You don't want to have someone who doesn't really care about learning or doesn't really care about achieving those goals that you had in mind, because then they're not going to work as hard and there's going to be a lot more distractions than if you had a group of people who were very clearly on the same page. The next strategy that I want to talk about is changing your scenery. We all have that place that we love to study, that place in your house or in your office, or maybe you're someone who likes to go to the library where you feel the most comfortable. But there's actually been studies that have shown that if you change the place where you're working or studying, this will help you increase your recall of information, increase your retention, and enhance your overall learning. And at the time, I didn't know this when I was studying for some of my tests, but I would often go outside in the summer and take a book or two, set up my little table and little desk, and stay there for a few hours every day to change the scenery of where I was studying. This helps you get fresh air, this helps you feel that you're getting some vitamin D, and this also helps you retain more information than if you were just staying in the same place all day long. So try changing up where you're studying, either in the same building or a different building, and see how that helps enhance your learning. And my last strategy that I want to talk about is something that I've used throughout my entire life and has really helped, and that is testing your recall. After you've learned a specific subject or topic, you have to take that information and see how much you retained. So what I would do is, from the information that I learned in the morning, by the afternoon, I would take some time and I would just talk about what I learned. I would literally verbalize everything that I could remember that I had learned. And this kind of goes along with if you had a study group, you could talk to someone else. But if you're not in a study group, just talk out loud, talk to the wall. Talking it out is a lot different than just reading it in your mind. And not only would I talk about it, but I would also write it all down. So what I would do is I'd take a blank piece of paper and I would write from the top to the bottom everything that I could possibly remember about the topic that I was studying. Once you've written it all down, compare it to your notes. See which information that you missed out on. This is the information that you know that you have to go back and restudy, because those are the parts that you weren't able to recall. When you're studying and when you're learning information for an exam or for an upcoming test, being able to recall that information is going to make your ability to answer the questions a lot more easier. So always test your recall at the end of every study session. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed some of these study strategies that I've learned and that have helped me throughout my entire educational career. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel, and let me know down in the comments what else you want to learn in terms of study strategies. I have a lot of experience with summer courses, with standardized tests and exams, and I'd love to share this information with you. So let's stay connected by subscribing to my channel, as well as hit the notification bell so you're notified of my next video. Everyone, I hope you're doing well. I hope everyone's staying healthy, and I wish you all the happiness in the world, and I'll see you on the next one.